Yeah, you're probably right. It's overkill. I just wanted to test it and see what the usage is like. It's a good way for me to get a good visual on how it's eating up my tokens. So like like I only have 36% left of my 5 hour usage. I mean, it's really tearing it up. And you're right. I should drop this down. I actually like medium. I prefer medium. It's a good balance. I'll go ahead and drop it down. For some tasks, I even yeah, I prefer medium. C films. I do hybrid coding. I mostly use AI chatbots, Gemini and ChatGPT. Okay. Yeah, if you have ChatGPT, try the 5.5. You'll be impressed. Leo, say you share your coding memory system as GitHub repo, and I already have mine, but I want to merge and unify both to create a unified one. Oh, okay. So if you're vibe code, this is how I would do it. So you have two different frameworks, two different systems, and two separate tools, but you're trying to merge them into one. Um, I would point the direction. You have your agent up. I would point the direction to each one of those repositories, and explain to him what you want to do, and have him build a game plan for you on how you can refactor that. And now you can pretty much build a third tool, and that third tool is going to be your one and two merged together. Let them know you pick the framework that works best for that scenario, even if you have to design that framework from scratch. And you take the idea from one and the idea of the other one and put them together. And they will always have uh, your old Git repositories as their library or their memory to understand what the tool is going to be. So when they're building your new one, and they're putting both those ideas into one, um, it would look and feel more like what you've already built and combined together. And then, of course, if there's any cross wiring that needs to happen between the tools, they can actually build that into it as well. So when I'm vibe coding something like that, like, hey, here's tool A, here's tool B. Now I need interface that manages both those tools together. That's exactly how I would put it into the chat for whatever agent I'm using, and I'll let him start analyzing it and figuring out what he needs to do or to make it happen. And he'll ask you questions. You go back and forth until you come out with the final outcome, and just let him start coding. Hey, Tanmoy. So what I'm building is a agentic development environment. This is the website here, forge.plyrium.com. And it's a tool for different types of agents. You could actually use Claude, uh, Codex. You could use Gemini. You could even use OpenCode. So you don't even have to use those paid subscription ones. You could bring your own AI, if it's local AI or if it's a free AI out there. And you have a director here, which will direct his team, which his team could be a coder, researcher, an auditor, and there's so many. I have a whole list of roles that you can inject into each one, and you can change it on the fly. You even the like if I'm done with Codex as a coder, without having to kill the terminal, I could actually change it here, and then choose the role I want right here. Um, the director will get the roster update, and he'll understand exactly what his teammates can do. So when you give him a task like, hey, I need you to merge these frameworks together, he will delegate that task to what role is best suited for that situation. The other thing is I do have a token efficiency in here that's built in. There are a bunch of tools that are tied together to inside the terminal and the CLIs, and on the other side, which is the HTTP request. And the tool, how I'm doing a token efficiency is it'll actually go in there and start stripping out redundant information and unnecessary tool calls, which are pretty much a whole log that gets sent to the LLM and you get charged for it. And I reduce all that, and the AI out in the cloud only gets the relevant information that's needed, and it'll contain its memory without losing any of your context or hallucination. It'll actually get what it needs for every time you send it. And I'm reducing your token usage, so you could actually use for terminals at the cost of one, for example. Does the director realize when you assign a new role to terminal, like change it? Yes, it does. On the fly, it changes. And I'll show that to you here. Load this up. So up here where the director's at, he has a roster, a coder, a devs ops, auditor, and a writer. And if I change one on the fly here, let these load in first. And also you could actually see the topology here. So, and this is based on the roster. So you could actually see the communication between all of them. That's why it's green and shooting out towards them. This is the communication that the director's sending to the team. And you can see the tools he's using, like team-show. So right there, he's seeing what his team is, and he's calling the actual team agent ID. Every agent has their own unique ID. And here he's looking at the card system, which we have a Kanban board here to see what cards are available. Each one has their own unique ID. There's a visual bug here that's not showing all the cards, but there's more than that. It would be great. Would really like to use that. You can actually today. You won't have the newest model, which I'm working on right now. What you'll have is a couple versions before this, but you can go to forge.plyrium.com and download it right now for free and start using it. So on the fly, so coder 1 here, he's coder 1, this is working. So if I come over here and change him, here's coder 1, and I'm going to change him to security. And it changes on the fly. If you look at the roster, it's security. If you come over here, it should change it to security. Everything happens on the fly. He gets injected with the security role and the skills. The director already is aware that there's now a security and not a coder. So when he is looking at the roster, he can say, oh, well, I have a security guy now. If you want a new agent, you could do that. Now I'm going to bring another coder in. Let's change the layout here. So now I have a coder in, and now you can see it popped up over here. I have a coder. Here's the coder. So when he looks at his roster, he says, oh, I have a coder. He will always know his team. That's his job, to understand who he has and how to facilitate the task of each one. Good. Now, the one you download is going to be a lot buggier than this one. It does have some issues. I'm trying to get all these bugs out for you. And this is still an issue here. It is still not reflecting the token efficiency. And that's what I've been trying to work on here. Okay, it's still not working. Is it because of my save data cache that's in my... so whenever I create a new team, it gets saved to my profile. And that way, if I close out the app and load it back up, I'll reload that information. Is the issue fixed? But the issue is the cache data. Can you look into that to see why I'm still not seeing the efficiency that I should be, and it's not doing the calculations? All right. So you can actually come over here and see what projects you're working on. And what the other thing is, if there's skills in here that you don't know, or if you want to make your own, you come to skills here. And if you have Claude, you can actually upload your own and do your own skills. If you're not sure what each skill does, what you can do is, let me bring this over here. You can open up the editor here, and oops, like cybersecurity, risk surface mapper here. So I can come in here and see exactly what the skill does, what it's doing. None of these are top level secrets or anything like that. This is something for you guys to come in here and you can make your own edits, change it. You know, it's like, well, I really don't want him to do this. You could actually change this or add more to his output contract. Here's his guardrails. Let's just say you have higher stipulations on your guardrails that you want to put in. You could actually append this and save it. The other cool thing is you see how I have the director here, but not the terminals. You can use the topology here, so you don't have to have the all the terminals spamming and seeing what's going on, unless you like to see that, and that's fine. Or you can just keep it like a simplified view, where you just look at this and you just communicate with the director, and you can watch communications happening in like real time. There is a disconnect. You see how all these say working? They're really not working. Actually, these ones are working. Or are they done? Let's see here. So the writer, for instance, let's find the writer. Here he is right here. So he's done, and he's been done, but it still says working. And that is an issue, another bug that I'm going to be working on too, because that needs to update on the fly as well. When they're done, they're done. Now, the problem is doing it at scale. I've created 55 plus repos across the different layers, orchestration, memory, evolution, harness, context. Um, so for at scale, if you have 55 plus projects that you're trying to bring together into one, it could still do it. What I would do is a module-based system. So each one of those standalone pieces, I would consider as a module. And so when you build your framework, I would build it in a way where they can attach those modules and they can link them together from one module to another. And now you have a tool system. And on top of that, you built a complete customized system that you can even add more modules to it later. You're already pre-planning ahead of time on be able for growth. Instead of rewriting all the code, you only rewrite the module that's going to be affected in that tighter space, and you can attach it to it. Think of it like mods. Um, so you're actually in a better situation than you think you are. That is the best way. So when you design your framework, start with the foundation. Understand what tech stack you're going to need, and let your and I'll start with one or two of those other pieces first, and say, okay, I want this to be a module-based application. I have 55 plus repos that and tools that I want to bring into this one tool, but I want to do it modularly or modular. And so every time that I want you to take this repo, turn it to a module, and I want to put it into my new framework. And then I want to take this repo, turn it to a module, and put it into this framework. And I want to be able to wire them together because they interact with each other. And you could do this for every single one of them until you have a tool that you really like. You could build the UI and that framework and how each module, even each module can have their own personalized UI depending on how you want to do it. So like this, right? I have topology here. This is sort of like a module, and I can come in here and move it anywhere I want. If I want it down here, I can. These are all sort of like module based. However you want to lay this out. They're docs. So I could actually pull out the topology out of the script if I want and run it by itself. Um, but right now it's built into it. So the app I'm using for voice is called Whisper Flow. Um, I I want to build my own. I actually have one here. I built it into the app. Sorry, but I built it into the app, and I'm using NVIDIA's Parakeet, and it works really good when it does work. Right now, I'm having an issue. And I'm going to extract that out and make it an individual install for you guys because I really believe your speech to text should run locally. When you have a text to speech that's running, or even on your own server, but if you have a text to speech that's running on someone else's server, here's the problem. It's capturing everything I'm saying and sending it to them. I don't like that, right? Look at all this. This is awful. I don't want that, don't need that. And plus, I'm using a free tier right now, and they have a pro trial and all this other crap. So my trial ends in 14 days. So I'm going to have this built before my trial ends. But right now, that's what I'm using. So, sorry, I was running the tool. So go ahead and rebuild the new one for me, and that way I can test it out. Oh, you're welcome. And that's actually what the main purpose of this channel is to have this conversation with anybody who comes in. If you have questions, concerns, just want to just chit chat, that's what I'm here for. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I could only give you from my personal experience and what I've learned and how I've done it. Yeah, so Leo, when you get that done, let me know. I'm curious how it worked out for you and if it's the design you were looking for. And when you're ready, I'll show it off here if you're okay with that. If it's something you are trying, if it's a personal project, I understand. But if it's something you're trying to market or, um, you just want to show it off, I would be happy to show it off here for you. And that's for anybody who's listening. If you have an app that you want me to show off for you that you vibe code, I'll be more than happy to show it off. Even if if you have your own AED that you build, I would show it off. In fact, I have one of my users. Um, this is or one of my viewers. This is his website, quadslab.io, and he actually built his own AI development tool here. Let me find it here. Quadflow is the name of it. It's AI agent, deserves better IDE, and his is actually really cool looking. His tool and stuff, and he's still working on his. You could get a free beta. You could join the wait list. This guy's been vibe coding for a lot longer than I have. I think over 2 years, and he's built some real impressive tools here. And he also has his own voice. Is this it here? Yeah. So voice to text for Mac and Windows. So this is his. You can download it right now. Again, it's quadslab.io, and just go to his products here. And he's got here's all his tools. He's got all sorts of stuff that you can check out. Abe, so voice to text, dictation software, desktop coding companion. He's got some cool things. Discord MCP. In fact, he's the one that he showed this to me the other day and gave me the idea because I have a Discord channel. And that's one thing I hate doing is setting up Discord for new channels and stuff and getting all the permissions and the roles and all the activities going on. So he's like, hey, I have a tool that does that for you. And he shared this with me. It's called Discord MCP, and you connect your AI tool, whatever tool you use, and it'll actually set up your entire Discord channel for you. And if you guys haven't yet, this is my Discord channel. So it actually set up all of this here. So you got the roadmap talk, the features requests, the feedback, bug reports. And if you do have any bugs, this is a great place to put it. In fact, my AI, which is Master Forger, has been doing some troubleshooting for some people. So I had a gentleman here who had some issues, and he was showing me what the issue was. And the Master Forger went and did the research for him and showed him how to fix his problem. So it's a great tool. It really is. So this tool here, I really encourage you guys to check it out. He's put a lot of work into it, and he's very passionate about all of his projects.